Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube, and these are my thoughts and spoilers of The Bubble, currently on Netflix. So I just finished work, got myself a curry, sat down on this chair and decided to watch something. And Netflix said that there's this movie called The Bubble, and it's based on a film crew making a sequel to a previous movie and how they're all going to be staying at this hotel and having to live with each other and make a film during the pandemic. I thought, okay, let's give this a shot. Now, if you had to compare this movie to something that's come out before, probably Tropic Thunder would be the closest thing you could think this movie resembles. And it does follow similar paths. But this film, unlike Tropic Thunder, is a pile of shit. This film is not very funny. It tries to be funny. It tries to force its humor on you when the reality is it should have been the way the comedy was delivered should have been done differently. This film had these actors going crazy, being in lockdown, so to speak, in a hotel and not being able to see the outside world and being kind of trapped from the very beginning of this movie, when really that sort of vibe, that sort of feel that they were getting by being in this production that felt endless because they had to do lockdowns and go into quarantine because somebody might have COVID and stuff like that, should have come a little bit later in the production of this film, when they were starting to get, drained and getting tired and getting fed up, and you could maybe garner some humor that way. But no, they gave it to us right at the fucking beginning, and unfortunately with that, and then going down these constant humor streaks where they were trying to make everything and anything funny, ended up not being funny at all. There were moments which were quite funny. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that nothing was funny about this film. There were some moments, and it did kind of get better. Maybe if I could split this film into 4 quarters, the third quarter was probably not too bad, but overall, it just wasn't good enough. And there's a really big cast in this film. A really big cast. Like, you see all the people on the screen right now. You got Karen Gillian. You got Pedro Pascal. Keegan-Michael Key. Leslie Mann. David Duchovny. For fuck's sake. And then you got a variety of cameos in this film. I'm surprised so many people wanted to be in this movie. You had James McAvoy. Daisy Ridley. John fucking Cena, Kate McKinnon, John Lithgow as well. Like, just unbelievable, the cameos in this film. Yet none of these characters and none of these actors could save this movie. I will say that when we did get some of the cameos, I did appreciate that to a degree. It was like, oh, this is pretty cool, but they were like fleeting because it's cameos. Our main cast were also full of famous actors too, unfortunately couldn't save this film. I'm not sure if I blame them or if I probably blame the writing, because boy, like the lines they had to deliver. If these guys here can't save the film with some of the fucking shit dialogue given, then unfortunately nothing can, because it was just really bad. Nothing made me laugh that much. It felt like forced humor, not the right humor. It didn't feel organic, and it's a real shame, really. Tropic Thunder is a far better, far superior film, and the film followed too many of its tropes, even right to the end, because when we kind of get the gist that this movie is going to be a failed shoot and it's not going to pan out, then the behind-the-scenes documentary which was being made of this movie ended up being the actual film. Just like in Tropic Thunder, if you remember, like when they couldn't make the movie, they ended up bringing out a documentary on the movie that never got made. Well, same with this. They couldn't make the movie, so they ended up making a documentary about the film that didn't get made. It was, wow. I mean, talk about following a better version of this movie down to the fucking letter when it came to certain things. But nevertheless, I would recommend missing this film, regardless of the stellar cast and the amazing cameos. Just don't bother with this. This film is a waste of your time. It's a waste of 2 hours of your life. And it goes to show, again, that when it comes to Netflix, television shows, great. Movies, shit. and this is another shit Netflix movie. Let me know what you think regarding this film. I didn't enjoy it. I'm going to give it a very generous 3 out of 10. And trust me, that is very generous. And if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, because I did straight after I watched this film, the Rotten Tomatoes scores are not that great. I think it got a user score, like a critic score, of like 22%, and an audience score of 33%. Everyone thinks this film is a pile of shit. There is something there. It could have been really good. Watching Karen Gillian, who was pretty much the main actress star of this film, having to go through one problem after another, and having to like a whole life is falling apart during this production, and she's not even being involved in the production that much herself, and there's so many issues she's having to deal with relationship wise, and her grandma fucking dying, and embarrassing scenes for her, and her being cut out and now being deemed to be too old. Now the new girl on the block who's a TikTok sensation, who was brought in on the movie, now is getting all her lines and stuff like that. I mean, it was just it was funny, a little bit funny at times, but at the same time it was a bit forced. It's like, oh look, she's going for another issue. Oh look, another issue, another issue, another issue, another issue, another issue. And there were some fucked up scenes as well with Leslie Mann's character losing her fucking hand. I mean, that should be the end of the production just there and then, but no, it keeps going. Like the security team brought in to stop these guys from escaping their hotel, because they are all in quarantine at the same time because they're in this bubble. Oh god, it was over the top, and I didn't appreciate it, even though it was shot in my own country. Never appreciated it. But let me know what you think regarding this film. Like I said earlier, 3 out of 10. Big pile of bollocks. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Bye bye.